Have you ever heard of the Great Commission? Recent studies have shown that only half of U.S. churchgoers actually recognize this phrase. Not only that, but only over a third of U.S. churchgoers can actually identify the Great Commission in the Bible. So what is the Great Commission? When we think of this phrase, we usually think of two instructions of Jesus found in the New Testament. These words of Jesus are spoken after his death and resurrection, and they talk about continuing the divine mission that Jesus began when he was on the earth. The most common is found in Matthew 28, when Jesus commands his disciples, "Go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I've commanded you." In Mark's version, he says, "Go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to all of creation." Now, in the first of these verses, there is a discipleship instruction that must be pursued by disciples of Jesus on an ongoing basis. This process will never really end before Jesus returns. But in the second, there is a proclamation instruction that really could be fulfilled. In much the same way that Coca-Cola has been introduced to every person on the planet, it is feasible to introduce every person on the earth to Jesus. Now, our motivation is of course different from Coca-Cola. As Christians, we introduce people to Jesus because of the worth of each individual, no matter where they're found, and of course because of the amazing promises that we have in Jesus. In each generation, it is possible to present the offer of new life that is found in Jesus to every creature on the planet. And this is the challenge that many generations have actually already embraced. There can be a lot of objections to such a command. Maybe personally, we are held back by shame, fear, or guilt. Or it might be cultural. Recent studies show that almost half of millennials believe it is actually wrong to share one's faith with another person with the hope that they will embrace Jesus. But at the core of Jesus' commands is the belief that every person matters, no matter where they are, where they live, or how marginalized or lost they might be. And we have to respond to that. And this is why Every Home for Christ has launched the Oikos initiative. It is a call of action to reach every home and every family on the earth with the gospel presentation in the next 20 years. Since 1946, Every Home for Christ has been serving the church to systematically reach people with the gospel and make disciples. But when we began almost 75 years ago, there were only 2.8 billion people on the planet. The challenge for our generation is how do we reach today's world with over 8 billion people? 8 billion people, all a part of different tribes, families, languages. 8 billion people, and every one of them matters. Jesus followers from every country in the world are living out this conviction, rising up in faith and reaching every family in their communities with the gospel. Every month, we have over 100,000 people participating in this vision to reach all and every. We've always rallied intercessors, financial partners, and gospel proclaimers. But now, we're giving a name to this movement, the Oikos Society. Today, we're asking you, will you share this conviction to reach all and every? Will you own this vision and pray the Lord will send out laborers into his harvest fields? Will you own this vision and express Christ's love to your neighbor? Will you own this vision and become a monthly financial partner and speed the spread of the gospel to the last home? Join the Oikos Society. Go to oikos.global.